Hey Earth signs, welcome to Higher Source Tarot. This is for October 13th through the 20th for all Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs in the sign of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. We are also embarking on a full moon October 13th in Aries. This is going to be an extremely potent full moon, and it's going to have a lot to do with changing patterns of behaviors, leaving those behind. This moon will be truly transformative for those who take advantage of it. So if you know that you have been stuck in some old patterns of behavior and you don't feel like you're ascending the way that you could, then this full moon is for you. At the end of the readings, I'm going to offer you an affirmation that can really help you to set your intentions for this opportunity. I would encourage you to write down the affirmation and say it to yourself 3 times a day. So at the end, I will give you that too. So we are going to start off here with Taurus. What is going on for Taurus this week, October 13th through the 20th? Please also to subscribe if you want to see my videos every week. I'll be back next week for another weekly reading. Let's see here. Sorry about the light. It's a little bit bright and sunny, so it's kind of got a glare. Usually light is good, but anyway. Wow, this is interesting. I have shuffled the heck out of these cards, and I see some of the same cards popping up again and again. Here's some new ones. All right. So what we have here, I'm seeing earth, I'm seeing air, water, not a whole lot of fire. Also seeing Scorpio here. So in the past, you have the 9 of Swords, so the nightmare cards, restless, maybe having trouble sleeping at night, just having a lot on your mind. This is somebody who had a lot on their mind, Taurus. Here we go, here's you, and you again. This is the power couple of the tarot, King and Queen of Pentacles. So if you were in a relationship that felt like a real power couple situation, or where people even told you that, that could very well be. Both of you were very balanced, financially very, very good looking couple, just a very solid, stable couple. And you could still be in that. That could certainly be part of it. Or it's possible that it's also ended from looking at some of these other cards. So that was in the past. That could be also with that 9 of Swords, having something come in, an influence come into that relationship. Certainly could also be to do with work, possibly, with the Pentacles here, because you do have so many of them. So your current influence, this is a great card with that full moon, is the Death card. That's all about rebirth. It's all about transformation, new beginnings. That's perfect. So you want to see this here. It has nothing to do with a turning into non-physical again, or a physical death. It has everything to do with letting go of those patterns. So that's good. That's, for some of you, that means you're going to be willing to do it in order to move on into this 10 of Cups. This is a new cycle. It's the conclusion of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. Happy family. Could also be, with that relationship, that there were some issues going on there that are also going to be ending with this full moon coming. Somebody here felt very drained and possibly taken advantage of and just stabbed in the back. That is always one of the worst looking cards, but it can also just mean you're physically very worn out. These two, the mental, has a lot to do with overthinking. And it's possible that you were doing, some push-ups in your head at night and just feeling really drained, having a hard time feeling settled and grounded. But you have the 9 of Pentacles coming in, and again, this is abundance. Sometimes we do call this a single lady, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be someone who's single. It can also just be someone who's really flourishing in their career. Again, if this is money, for some of you, that's great, because you also are, you're hardworking here, with the 8 of Pentacles. You can see you're lining up your coins. There's quite a few other elements. You've got the kind of the wood for the fire here too. It's basically working on yourself or themselves. So it's possible if you were in a situation that took a break, you've spent time or you're going to spend some time working on yourself. And that would also make sense with the full moon, that the transition will be right into self-care, investing in yourself. I don't even really like the phrase working on yourself. I like investing. So here's somebody that's giving up the fight. If you've been, I love this for this week, if you've been somebody who's been embroiled in a lot of conflict, which it sure looks like somebody has been, you're going to be letting go of that. See the two that are turning their back, they're done fighting. They have had enough of that. So remember, you don't have to attend every fight you're invited to, and that's going to be you, where you're just going to say, you know what, it's not worth my time and energy. I am looking forward now. So for you, Taurus, that all looks very good. And here is your card, your Wild Offering card, Oracle card this week. Loneliness. When you stop fearing your aloneness, you stop settling for less than you deserve. May I embrace and love my solitude, and that's when kindred spirits can finally come. Now, it's possible with this combination that if some of you have been single, that's also going to be ending, that you've invested in yourself, you're done with the fight, and some kind of a new energy will be coming in for you. So that looks very good for you, Taurus, and on to Virgo here. Let's see what's going on next for Virgo. All right, for Virgo. Okay, I'm glad to see the Seven of Swords in the past, because that's somebody that's a liar and we don't really need those. Ooh, the Chariot. Moving forward, I'm seeing Cancer, I'm seeing air, earth, fire so far. Okay, and Judgment, Three of Cups, the Sun. Very nice. So whoever this is, whatever Virgo this is, somebody was being lied to and deceived. You know, it's got that thief in the night look where he's taking off with the swords and kind of looking over his shoulders. Or possibly it could be you too, that you crept out of something. Here you are though, with a lot of balance. This is stability with those pentacles, financial stability. Could be left something because it wasn't financially stable, so you kind of took off out of there. And then you have the Page of Swords. Not a good communicator. Normally swords are good communicators, but not the page. He doesn't know how to wield that sword very effectively, so he tends to say things that cause more conflict. So that could also be that you had a challenge with somebody, or you really went off on somebody that you found out was a liar. That's possible too, Virgo. So here you are. Could be travel, but it's definitely balance. It's strength with the Chariot, Cancer. You're moving forward in a new way, a new beginning. There could have been conflict here, but the 5 is all about change also, which is good for this full moon. So it could be that there's been some confusion and conflict, but again, that's going to be changing and shifting. And then you have the conclusion here of a cycle, which is 10, and this is somebody who's feeling like they're carrying the weight of the world, where you felt very burdened. It could have been this toxic asshole, you know, was burdening you and feeling a lot of weight from this situation. And so you're going to be getting ready to put down those wands, so Virgo. You're not going to be carrying those here in the coming energies. So Judgment, if you've been waiting for a decision, it's coming. Judgment is here, and it's going to go in your favor. Could be an ex relationship that's going to get on solid ground, reunion, very celebratory energy. So if you've been down in the dumps and just feeling weighted down, that's going to be done. I mean, there's not too many cards that are opposites as much as something like the 10 of Wands and this 3 of Cups. But then finally, you have the Sun, which is just a beautiful energy. This is complete freedom. You're going to be having fun this week, having a lot of joy. Again, the timelines could be fluid, and it could certainly be, you know, more than a week to come here. So maybe this week, and then you just get into a really nice momentum. But this is what you have coming for you, Virgo, so that looks amazing. Your Wild Offering Oracle is intention. Perfect with this full moon. Set our intentions, folks. Intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all the universe's wishes come true for me. So the universe has your back. Nice looking reading for you this week, Virgo. And on to Capricorn. All right, let's see what's going on for Cap this next week and under this full moon. King of Cups, Seven of Pentacles here, so working hard. Might have ignored an offer with this Four of Cups. Seeing a lot of water, earth, Knight of Wands, fire, definitely fire here. Empress, love her. King of Wands. Yeah, you definitely, if you're dealing with a fire sign, Capricorn, then this is for you. And the Hierophant. So very nice. Very nice ending to this. So, you know, the King of Cups is typically emotionally stable. Very, you know, he's able to express his emotions and be vulnerable and express them in a way that brings people together. So, you know, this again is stability, kind of watching your nourishing something, which goes along great with the King of Cups here. I apologize on this weather. I can't really control the sun, can we now? So this Seven of Pentacles has to do with waiting. You've planted seeds, you've nourished it, you've been waiting for something to come to fruition. Could be this relationship. Maybe you put your heart out there and you've been waiting to see if someone accepts this offer. Could be a water sign you're dealing with, wondering, you know, are they going to accept this, or are they going to just keep making me wait around? So that's also a possibility. All right. And then you have coming in this Knight of Wands. This is nice because if you've been waiting, here's action. And this is energy that's coming. So this Knight comes in and brings some action to a situation that may have been stagnant before. And that will give you some relief. Again, you're looking over options, you know, possibly considering travel or some movement. That's a possibility too here. But definitely fire energy. And what I like with this is, you know, where you've been nourishing something, planting seeds, and then you have the Empress. So she's also about fertility, but she's definitely very abundant. You know, she's got a beautiful energy. She's got this beautiful crown of stars and hope, and, you know, there's a lot of new growth around her. So with this full moon, if you've been in a pattern where you've been waiting around, wondering about someone or something, here's where it starts to show some new energy coming in. And then you have the King of Wands, and of course, which is interesting, right next to the Knight of Wands, he's in his power. He takes action. He's not afraid to move forward. Aries energy with that full moon. You know, good communicator, but very, you know, able to take risks, able to look at what the next step forward would be. So if you've been, you know, in something where it's a lot of waiting and wondering, you'll be able to get into some action, which is great. And then these are somebody looking for options. Sometimes this can be disillusionment, but I think in your case, looking at these other cards, especially with the Hierophant here, you could be looking at a long-term commitment. If you put your heart out there and you've been waiting and wondering what's going to happen, you're going to be moving to the next level with this. You know, we're looking at the future, looking at what could be, looking at things to come, and that is good for you, Capricorn. So, oh, I love the butterfly too. So those of you that like synchronicities and think about butterflies, this one was for you. Independence. The more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, the more freestanding you become. Help me feed and love this inner child, universe. So that ties in great because the affirmation I want to give you is from Louise Hay, the book You Can Heal Your Life. And this is a great book for anyone who's caught in past patterns, behaviors, things that you feel like have really held you up. So here it is. Think for a moment about something in your life you want to change. Go to the mirror and look into your eyes and say out loud, I now realize that I have created this condition, and I am now willing to release that pattern in my consciousness that is responsible for this condition. Say it several times with feeling, but also I would suggest writing it down and reading it 3 times a day, at least 3 times a day, and read it over and over until you have it committed to memory. So, and that's for all of you signs. If you want to really harvest in this full moon and have things start moving forward, you have to let go of some of those old behaviors and old patterns that have not served you well. So that's it for you, Earth signs, and I love you, and I'm glad that you tuned in. Please subscribe to my channel if you want more weekly videos. I will be back again next week. Bye-bye.